It's my pleasure to welcome yet another celebrated figure from the world of the arts to Conversation and Music, an informal hour of talk and recorded examples of the artistry of today, Radu Lupu, 29-year-old pianist of Romanian ancestry. Welcome to WCLV, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Lupu is beginning to be a known quantity in pianistic circles, having made his debut in 1969 with a number of international honors under his belt, including first prizes in the Van Cliburn competition in 1966, the Enescu International competition the following year, and the Leeds competition in the year of his formal introduction to the public in 1969. Festival appearances, subsequently a tour with the London Symphony and later the Israel Philharmonic, with now Sir Georg Scholti added to his renown. And that, very briefly, takes us up to last year. 1973 was sort of your year, wouldn't you say? There was the Japan tour, for example. Your first recordings appeared here. The 5 Beethoven concerti performances were given in Houston, and you began appearing with the major symphony orchestras in our country. I think what fascinates me most is your heritage. You've been immersed in the Lipatti circle for quite a while, is that right? That is,
I don't recall that actually, and I would say that it's quite impossible because, first of all, I cannot dare to compare myself with Lipatti in a sense of pianistic way, and I'm totally opposite from Lipatti.
Temperamentally?
Temperamentally and musically.
But what I really meant by in the circle was the people who knew Lipatti, such as, for example, his widow and some of the teachers and so on. Is that not so?
I don't think so, actually.
Uh-huh.
I studied with Florica Muzicescu, which is the teacher of Lipatti.
Yes?
I studied a number of months, but that's all what I have in common with him.
I see. And you were about 4 or 5 years old when Mr. Lipatti died in
Yes.
1950, is
Yes,
that
about
right?
5 years old.
Mr. Lupu, and in this case I know I speak for thousands all over the world, have been under the spell of Dinu Lipatti for all the years since our first introduction to his art in the late 40s. Is this generally shared by people in your country, this almost worship for so perfect in art?
Absolutely, yes. Not only from the people of Romania, but I think all over the world. Lipatti is considered one of the greatest pianists of the century. And I think it's a very great loss that he died so young. He was only 33 or so.
Right.
And I mean, it's very interesting to. It's amazing to think that only today he will be only, what, 50, no, more than that, 57, that's
Yeah,
all.
very young
Yes.
for a pianist, right in his prime, as a matter of
Yes.
fact.
And it's great to make such a career and such a name for dying only at 33.
What do you think is responsible for this? That is to say, are you able to evaluate his playing in such a way that you could say why that remains? Because of the technical perfection? No. Because of
I
the total
think
perfection?
altogether, yes, altogether, I think that this was a man who really worked for his art in a sense that he wanted total perfection, musical, technical, everything, and he achieved that. I mean, perfection is a bad word, is not a good word to use, but he achieved his ideal of interpretation.
What effect has that had on your own development? I mean, the knowledge of this. Have you tried to emulate that? Have you wanted to do the same thing?
In a way, I mean, I'm not that type of pianist who would play every note, and that's my unfortunate thing. And musically, I tried every time uh, to achieve my ideal in what I'm doing.
And he has been an inspiration to you in a manner of speaking?
Yes, in a way, because he is such a pianist and musician, and I just love listening to his record, etc., etc. But I was in all this year much more impressed and influenced by orchestras than by instrumentalists.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say that any really pianist influenced me a lot.
That's interesting. Lipatti was a perfectionist. We've noted that. For example, I think it was the Beethoven Fourth Concerto, which he said took him so very many years to come to. And in fact, I can't recall if he ever did play it in public. Do you know if he did?
I don't recall that. I know that he wanted about 4 years to practice the Tchaikovsky Concerto No. 1 in order to perform it.
And yet you play all five of the Beethoven concerti. Have you played them for many years, or is
Yes,
there...
I played them for about 6 years already, all of them.
Let me guess the one you came to last, number 3.
No, that was the first.
Because
No, that was the second,
was
sorry.
it the second? Because that, of course, was your introduction to the American public, from recordings, at any rate, was the recording of the third piano concerto
Yes.
of Beethoven. Very early in our interview, why don't we hear the filler for that disc, which London Records has issued? The unused space on the second side of the record contains the 32 variations, the variations on an original theme of Beethoven, and here is Radu Lupu to play it for us. 32 variations on an original theme of Ludwig van Beethoven, played by Radu Lupu, who is our guest today on Conversation and Music. Mr. Lupu, your own teachers included Cela della Vrancea, whom I think we don't know, Florica Musicescu, whom we do slightly, and also quite a time spent at the Moscow Conservatory with both of the Neuhaus men, Heinrich and his son Stanislav. I should mention that the elder Neuhaus was teacher for both Emil Gilels and Sviatoslav Richter, artists the world admires. What was it like as an émigré to the musical world of contemporary Russia? Were you one of many talented young people at the Moscow Conservatory?
Yes, I think so.
Were you in any way treated differently because you
No,
were
I
from...
wasn't treated any differently. In fact, I spent there about 7 years, and 2 of them were in a school, because in order to enter in the conservatory you have to finish the school.
In Russia?
In Romania as well, I mean, any of the eastern countries. And there I wanted to I mean, I was supposed to study composition instead of piano. I mean, with piano, also composition, and I renounced because I didn't think that my talent is good enough, and I started really struggling with the piano. And I think that many people who were composers played better the piano than me. So I had quite a lot of work to do to catch up, at least with the composers. And in the Moscow Conservatory, well, my reputation was being as being a good musician, but not a pianist in any way.
That's amazing.
Yes.
What about your technique? Hadn't that been acquired pretty completely many years earlier, and you just had to refresh it? Or did you really have to sort of start all over again?
Well, I played the piano from an early age, but I sort of say never took it seriously, because all of my parents and I and many musicians from Romania knew that I'm going to be a composer and not a pianist. So
I see.
I played with the orchestra in public, but I sort of played all the symphonies on the piano, and not in any way piano repertoire.
I see.
So in Moscow I started really to look seriously at this instrument, and it took me quite a while to...
To a certain extent, this is like what happened to Sviatoslav Richter. I mean, he started rather late to be a
Yes.
pianist, didn't he?
Yes, but he is not lazy as I am.
Well, considering the quality of your playing, I think we could take that with a grain of salt. You've begun to be recorded, isn't that so? In fact, 3 discs from London are now available here: the Beethoven Third Piano Concerto and the 32 variations on an original theme, which we've heard. A Schubert sonata, the one in A minor, Opus 143, or sometimes, or more correctly described, I should say, as Deutsch 784, with some Brahms pieces. I think the B minor Rhapsody, Opus 79, number 1,
Yes.
and the 3 Opus 117 Intermezzi. And then just a short time ago, 3 Beethoven sonatas, the Pathetique and the Moonlight and the Appassionata,
No, the Waldstein.
and the Waldstein. How long have you been at it, that is, recording? How many years have you done it, or is it a recent thing?
I was recording. I'm recording already about 3 years.
You
or
made...
4 years even.
I know you made a disc in Romania of the Emperor
Yes.
Concerto.
No. I'm with London 4 years now.
You've been with London 4 years.
Yes.
But you've been released in this country only, I think, about 2 years. Is that right? The
Yes,
first
I think so,
recordings. Yeah. How do you find recording, the business of making records? Is it hard for you?
At first it was terribly hard. In fact, my first recording wasn't released because I had to do it again because of my nerves, and I was really unaccustomed to play for the microphones. But now I think it's getting a little bit easier. It's not still very easy for me to play for the microphones because I have to the public element is missing, you see, and I'm very much a stage
I
pianist
see.
than a recording pianist. But I think that now I take it more easily, and it's getting better and better. I
When-
hope so. Therefore, I didn't make so many records. You see,
Mhm.
I mean, over the next 5 years or so, I will make about 25 to 30 records.
I see.
Yeah.
There are concerti in this repertoire which we'll expect, and solo
Concertos
pieces.
and solo pieces, a
Mhm.
lot of them.
Mhm.
Yes.
How long does it take to record, let's say, a short work of perhaps 10 minutes? I mean, can you often do it at one take and they release that, or do you do it over and over? And what do you
That's
prefer?
very difficult. That I prefer to play one piece from the beginning to the end
Mhm.
and see what it's like. I mean, many times I have to repeat because of a wrong note in the middle of a passage or something like that. Many times I have to repeat because the sound is not yet satisfactory or something happened. I'm not such a perfect pianist from a velocity point of view. I never made a take and that's it.
Mhm.
I have to repeat sometimes. Yes.
We mentioned that you had recorded some Brahms pieces, and perhaps the next thing that we might offer the listening audience is the first of the two Rhapsodies from Opus 79, number 1 in B minor. Here again is Radu Lupu. Johannes Brahms' Rhapsody, Opus 79, number 1 in B minor, played by Radu Lupu. Mr. Lupu, we've yet to hear Chopin from you. Now, there are pianists who rarely, if ever, play Chopin in recital. Rudolf Serkin is the most celebrated, and there are others. Are you a meat and potatoes pianist? Or do we look forward to some of the works of Chopin from you?
Well, I don't know now. I think that many pianists are playing works that doesn't suit them, and I think for them it's a mistake because everybody, of course, tries to be universal and to play every composer, etc., etc. But I don't think that it's any good to play a composer, a piece of a composer where you are forced to do something that you don't feel or you don't really have the feeling for that. Therefore, I avoid to play Chopin as much as possible at the moment because I love this composer. It's fantastic what harmonies can produce and pieces of great genius, of a great genius. But whenever I'm taking a Chopin piece, I feel that I'm very unnatural, and I do things that are against the music.
Really?
Yes, and I can't allow myself to do that.
Well, take the G minor ballade, for
Yes,
example.
I played it.
You do
yes.
strange things to it?
Well, I don't know. Whenever I hear that, I don't like it.
You mean played by someone else or yourself?
No, by myself.
Ah,
Yes,
I
I
see.
played it quite a lot in public, but now I avoid as much as possible.
Well, Chopin is a pianist who cannot be played straight. That is to say, rubato is the life and breath, don't you think?
Absolutely, but that must be very natural. You see, must live with you, must breathe with you, and
Yes.
it doesn't with me.
I
You
see.
see?
So you spare your public because you don't feel that it's yet ready.
Well, I spare first of all myself
Of course.
because I respect too much his music.
Do you think you will come to the playing of Chopin in years?
Maybe yes, maybe no. I can't give this answer. You see.
It would be dreadful to think that a pianist as expert as yourself, that's fine in Beethoven, Brahms, and we'll hear the Schumann shortly, will not offer us Chopin at some time.
Well, I'm sorry.
Well, clearly.
I'm sorry for myself as well.
Right. Mr. Lupu, your Severance Hall performance of recent date involved the Schumann Piano Concerto, and we know that I know rather, that you have recorded this very recently. When may we expect to hear it for the first time? Approximately when?
Well, I should hope in about 2 months because in England it's already released.
Oh, it's
for 1
released in
month.
England already. And what orchestra and conductor do you use?
With Andre Previn and with London Symphony Orchestra.
Uh-huh. Tell me, is it, as Madeleine Lipatti tells us Dinu thought, the most difficult of the romantic concerti to play well, do you think?
What, the Schumann
Yes.
concerto? Yes, I think so, because it's a very tricky concerto. I mean, you have to sing that in order of a German romantic rather than a romantic generally. You see, I mean, you have to build very well the piece in order to be free in the concerto and to see the piece as a whole.
Because it's almost uninterrupted, isn't it? From beginning to end.
Yes, not only that, but Schumann, you see, used to. I mean, most of the Schumann pieces are made from little pieces, like Carnival and Davidsbündler-Tänze and so on.
Right.
So in this concerto, which is much better built as a sonata for first movement, I mean, than usually, still I feel that there are many fragments which have to be integrated in the whole.
And is that the
in
difficulty
the piece as a whole.
to which
and
you
I
refer?
think this is the difficulty.
In a way, to say that to make it hold together is the
Yes.
problem.
I think that, like in any German romantics, you have to be with the feet classical and with the head very romantical.
That's
You
a
see?
marvelous way to describe it. Let's conclude our listening to the artistry of Radu Lupu with the first movement of the Schumann Piano Concerto in A minor, Opus 54. The opening movement of the Schumann Piano Concerto in A minor, Opus 54, Radu Lupu was soloist, and Andrei Previn conducted the London Symphony Orchestra. The past hour has been spent most agreeably in the company of the young Romanian pianist, Radu Lupu. Mr. Lupu, may I express my pleasure, and I'm sure I speak for our audience, for this time with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us.